Hiya! So it's another scorcher of a day, guys. Really hot. I put sun cream on this time, so yeah, good thinking, Dom. Yeah, I hope you got a lot from what we did on the last time. We've got the shoots coming up. They've kind of embedded themselves into the ground now, so they're looking a lot kind of healthier, they look a lot nicer. No shoots have come up from the lettuce that we were doing, but hey ho, we'll give it, it's only been a week. But what I do have is what I've been propagating some stuff at home with some of the gardening guys, is some runner beans. And these have just shot up and really need to come out of the pots, because if you can see on the inside there, they're kind of losing the grip on what's going on. Speak about that. So what I've got is, guys, we're going to be building a teepee for these to grow up. So what you'll need is some twine. What you'll need is some twine, some bamboo or some sticks. You can get them from pretty much anywhere. As you see cut-offs at the side of the road of sticks, they're ideal to grow. I've gone for just over 6 foot, or it's taller than me, and I'm just under 6 foot. So they can get a lot of height. So we're going to do one teepee, and we're going to do a little kind of run of trellises for some peas today. Yeah, so should I or shouldn't I with the sunglasses? I will if it gets too bad. So save me from squinting at the end, hey? So yeah, we'll get that sorted. I'm going to get the stuff and I'll catch you in a sec. Happy gardening, guys. Okay, so we've got our sticks, we've got our twine, and we've got our lovely runner beans for now. So what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to make a structure for it to grow. They'll grow up more structures. If you've got a trellis at home, they'll grow up a trellis. It doesn't necessarily need to be this teepee shape. I just personally like the shape of them and how it looks once they start to grow. It can grow up like, you can even tie off bits of garden wire up your wall so it can climb up your wall, making sure it's sun facing. So there's lots you can do with it. Just for the purpose of this though, we're going to do a teepee, because it's quite simple to do and it can be quite cheap. Because I don't think I spent much. It was like £3 on 10 over 6 foot, maybe 7 foot even. Yeah, definitely over 6 foot. Bamboo sticks, or like I say, you can find them off, like maybe in a park as a cut off as well. Someone's cutting a tree back. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So what we need to do is, or what I like to do is, I like to make the shape of it. I'm going to use six bamboo sticks to make this, because I've got 4 plants here. And I'm going to plant another couple of beans next to it, okay? So in my plot, I'm going to make a kind of a circular shape, just drawing it with my fingers, I'm drawing it with my hands, just so we've got an idea of the shape that we're going to be going on to, okay? And much like a clock, you've got 6, so you've got 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, no, 12 o'clock, 3, 1, 5, 4, 12, 4, 8 something. Okay, we'll figure that out as it goes. But you're going to be making a teepee shape, or so you can simply just dig that into the ground using the thick end at the bottom, maybe 10 past 2, and then maybe 27 minutes past, 27 minutes to, but making sure that the thin end is at the top, and you can go quite far down with these just to make sure that they're quite secure. Now I feel like I'm going to have to angle this up. So what we need next is our twine. Angle up, and you can see what I'm doing. So we have some twine and our trusty scissors or knife. So what you're going to do is you're going to simply angle this to an arch in the centre and just wrapping these across. Okay. To make a teepee shape. And starting from the bottom, you go over and under, come back on yourself, be using the twine. Go under, then over, tying it tight, then under, then over, pull up, under, then over. That didn't go over there. Under, then over, and keep that going round until you get more of a tighter structure. So you can tie it off, and it makes this peak at the top. And once you have the peak, you're going to leave a bit from one side. Keep hearing the fence going, so sorry I keep turning around. Okay, leaving a bit left over. Using our trusty knife, cut off the other side. And just wrap it round. So that's a simple teepee structure. Keep going, just to make it as tight as possible, so it ain't moving nowhere. You can do this with garden wire. You can do it with twine as well. But what you want to do finally is tie it off, double knot, just to keep that nice and tight. And if you want to trim off the end, you can, just to make it look a bit neater. You can tuck it in on itself. That is our simple teepee structure. Now I'll angle down. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get this pot, either a sprout or the pea shoot or runner bean shoot needs to go either side of the stick. Okay, so simply I'm going to do it with this bigger one. Either side of there, tap it out, and look how the roots are really starting to come out there. You want to separate them out a bit. Just crumble away, just to loosen those roots. Again, you can use a trowel for this. And then either side of this planter, of this teepee structure, the roots of the plant can go in the ground. Okay. So the pea is fully covered, or the bean is fully covered with soil. Pat it down and ready to start climbing. Now I know what you're thinking, that might be that already done, but to help support it just as it's grown, what you're going to do is just get a little bit of twine. Again, you can use garden wire. Not much. And you're just going to tie it off just so it's standing upright. Not too tight, because you don't want to starve it of or strangle it, but you want it to be able to be upright. So again, this other one, move this one, just going to tie it off with a little bit of string to give it a chance to grow. Now what you want to do is, as these are growing up higher and higher, make sure that's nicely patted down, higher and higher, you want to tie it off just as they keep growing, because they'll start to droop, and just going to keep it closer to the bamboo stick that you've tied it off to. Okay, so I'm going to carry on doing the rest of these 4. Yep, and then if you want, you can just plant another bean next to it just to give it that extra chance of growing. Okay, so catch us in a sec and we'll get on to doing the peas. Loosen up the soil that I've been treading on. Made a bit of a mess, Can't really make a mess in gardening, can you? Mess to begin with. Okay, so guys, the last little thing we want to do for this one is we're going to take off this label because it can't be good for anything. We're going to make some, like a pea tunnel for the peas to grow in, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do one either side of this lovely teepee. Now, I got these, I think these were delivered with the Northeast Wild packet, which I haven't planted the peas yet. However, I've heard, and please have an experiment, because I've never done it before. If you buy dried peas from a supermarket, they're substantially cheaper than buying packets of grown peas, and they work just as well as grown. I might give that an experiment somewhere at some place, but yeah, what I've got is I've got enough to make 4 little sculptures. I just took the rest of the bamboo that I had. Again, you can use sticks. I cut them in half to about whatever, 3 foot length, let's say, for argument's sake. We're going to use the same kind of technique, but rather than making the archway or making like a 6-pronged archway, we're just going to do a 2-pronged archway, which I'm going to put these peas away because I feel I'm going to drop them and I'll never be able to find them in the grass. Yes, so what you need is, again, you need some twine and just a little bit of fiddly nature. So first of all, find the end of your twine. Right. And I'm going to cut maybe like a wingspan length of this twine. Again, you can use garden wire, any kind of string. You can use wool for all of this, as long as it's like kind of strong enough string to kind of hold things up by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant 4 of these, or do 4 of these structures, and then plant 2 seeds per structure. I'm not going to start these off in pots like I did the last one. This is going to be an experiment to see if they go straight into the ground and see what they can do. Okay, so I'll do this side, making sure not to stand on my kale. So what you're going to do is about 1.5 foot apart, I've done there, just so it's not intruding onto our lovely teepee structure. You're just going to make an archway, okay? And this is a lot more simple to tie off, not as much over and under and ins and outs. You're just going to tie it round, making sure that the twine holds the structure together, and just wrap nicely round and round and round. The peas aren't going to climb as high as the runner beans will, but again, you can use a trellis, you can use anything of those sorts to tie these off. So that seems pretty sturdy to me. I know it doesn't look too symmetrical from your side, but I'm okay with that. Okay, and then I'm going to use another 2 to do one behind it. Probably is about the same, a couple of foot away. And making sure that they can be tied off. Now, what I do like to do with these, which I'll probably do now because it looks pretty, is connect the 2 together. So making sure they're all fully in line, which I've just noticed that one isn't. So just so you can get a nice straight line. And again, under, over, over, under, then wrap your roundsies. And then just give that a little bit of strength. Tie it off. Just good. So what I mean by connecting the 2 together, it just means that the peas will start to spread out a bit. So it keeps the structure kind of intact. So if you're using bamboo, you can use the knots in the bamboo, or the notches in the bamboo, as a marker for you. So tie one off and then just connect it, and it just keeps the structure quite sturdy. Pat that down just to give it that extra bit of sturdiness. and just means that the peas will have a little bit more room to grow or to spread out. So not only do they go up, but they can spread along as well. Okay, so pat that down nicely, same on the other side, and then we'll get planting. Okay, and I'll put a closer view of what I'm doing for planting. So 2 seconds. Hiya. Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is move the knife. We're going to plant some of these peas in. Okay, what I like to do is just to kind of, so it gives the plants a chance to grow, as I might have said before, but always plant two plants or 2 seeds into one space, just to kind of, if one doesn't kind of catch, then the other one might kind of get a chance to go. So what I'm going to do is either side, so the inside, just push that down, and the outside probably go down an inch or two at the max. So the outside and then the inside on each stilt. So hopefully you'll have 8 pea plants per one of these 2-way structure things. Okay, these can go on for as long as possible, like as far as possible. I think through the garden we went right across a bed in the biker kitchen garden, and it kind of grew as a nice tunnel, which was really beautifully pretty, and yeah, we got quite a lot of pea produce from it. So these structures are really cool to do, or really easy to do, and really benefit your plants. What we can do as well is you can propagate indoors or under glass, or in a greenhouse, or some on a windowsill even, to make them look like the runner beans are looking, just so that they're a plant beforehand. But this time we're going to try it from seed. So yeah, that's that. So let me I'll do the other one in my own spare time, but yeah, let's say our goodbyes. So okay, there's a bike there. So that's us sorted, guys. That's our first beds kind of put in ready for the season. We've got some grown from seed, we have some grown from established plants that are started indoors, and we've also got some from seed from last season. So this is going to be kind of our experimental salady plot, or leafy green plot, with a bit of peas in there and runner beans. Yeah, so what I've done is I've got 3 different structures, as you can see. I've got a tunnel, I've got the teepee, and I've just got some kind of straight up bamboo just for them to climb, to see as an experiment which one goes the best. I've always done a teepee, but I'm kind of intrigued to see how the other 2 go. So yeah, I'm going to keep you updated with this. We're going to do another kind of couple of gardening videos, have a mixture between garden and print, which will be quite cool. Got a bit of a backlog that I wanted to do with you guys, but it's been great seeing you as always. It's been great chatting to you as well, kind of doing this. Make sure that you have a go at this garden, and follow these kind of top tips. Gardening with Dom, what is that what we called it? Yeah, so just a quick reminder, guys, as it's really sunny as well, you're not wanting to water these in the middle of the day because they'll scorch the leaves. So I've been doing it early morning, well, I'll say early morning, about 8:30, 8 or half 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and just as the sun's setting before I go to bed, or don't. So yeah, keeping it out of the midday sun, that's the way that we're going to keep these alive. Okay, so been a pleasure, guys, as always. Goodbye from lovely Gateshead, this lovely plot, and then moving forward we've got another 2 we can play with. So yeah, catch us in a bit, guys. Always a pleasure, and peace. Happy gardening.